Welcome to the boxing bookie. Nice little card that we had on. Nice little PROBOX card. Uh, Vulcan is in the house. What up, Vulcan? What up, Vulcan? A cot. This name is gonna kill me. First, Najee Lopez looks sensational. Najee Lopez is one of the premier prospects, one of the best 175-pound prospects we've seen in a while. He beat up on a overmatched but undefeated Steven Sumter. And then in the main, then we saw Nicholas Flaz get a well-earned victory. And then Akitsui? Am I saying that right? You guys got to help me with that name. Bro, locks this weekend. You want to get straight into the locks? Let me pull up the odds and let's have a look. We'll get to the PROBOX card a little later. Hang on. Hang on. Give me a minute. We'll get to the locks. So I like Boots by stoppage. Give me 1 second. Let me grab a water real quick. Hang on. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I needed a water to do the show. No doubt. All right. Let me share the odds with y'all. Let's take a look at the odds. Moro Forte is fighting? That's an interesting one. All right. So I really like Jaleel Hackett in this. I think Hackett is a great bet at minus 1,000. I really, really like that bet. There's one lock. Sky Nicholson at minus 2,000 is a lock. Here's a nice little. I didn't know about Moro Forte. I didn't know about that fight till right now. When is it? It's tomorrow. Yeah. I'm not advising on this one, but if you're asking me personally, yeah. I gotta know more about this guy that he's fighting, Cristobal Lorente. You want to take a look at him? Let's take a look at him together. Hang on. Moro Forte is a nice fighter. That's my paisan. Dang, Vulcan. I wish I had known about this fight a little earlier. Because my gut tells me more, but I don't know much about this guy. And looking at his box rec, it doesn't tell us a whole bunch, right? Like, he hasn't really fought anybody. He's undefeated. I don't know much about him. Vulcan? Who do you like? Who do you like in the fight? I don't know much about the guy he's fighting, so I don't want to give bad advice. I'm gonna make a bet on my own. I don't know enough about the guy to advise you. I'm gonna bet on my paisan. That's my paisan. That's my boy. Let me share this. Hang on. Why PROBOX TV never show weigh-in? I don't know. Here we go. I wish they did, but they don't. They got a whole channel. You can put the weigh-in on, right? I mean, it's not an unreasonable ask. I agree. Cristobal Lorante, 15-10, 5-3. I mean, there's not a name on here. I know Moro Forte. We've seen Moro Forte a lot. Look, you'll be familiar with Moro Forte. If you watch the Italian cards on that channel that I linked, you've seen them. Francisco Grandelli, Joshua Ocampo, Francisco Grandelli. You've seen them before. If you follow Italian boxing at all, you've seen him quite a bit. He's got the first round knockout over Grandelli last year, which is what he's best known for after fighting him to a controversial draw in the first fight. I like Moro Forte. I think he'll win, but I don't know enough about his opponent, so I'm betting on him. So you can do with that as you will. That is not an endorsement. I'm just letting you know I'm betting on him to win. So let's just take the odds. I'm gonna run a list down. Vulcan says looks a bit familiar, but I haven't watched his fights yet. I think he's your typical Italian fighter. Come forward guy, quick in and out, switches between the two stances, decent skills, but really nothing special. He's not a bad fighter. Head, body, mixes things up. Southpaw stance, conventional stance, quick hands, quick feet. He doesn't really sit down on his shots. He doesn't really commit to his shots. It's more amateurish in the sense that he's looking to score than he is really, sit down and hurt you. But he's good. He's a good athlete. Good skills, he mixes up headshots and body shots pretty well. He's good. He's kind of jittery. I got burned a bunch of times with PROBOX TV shows. Getting a look at both fights at the weigh-in, I find it important, especially with the close matchups. Yeah, but remember, their biggest advertiser is that gambling. There's that sports book. It's an Argentinian sports book. That's their biggest advertiser. They don't want you to have all the information. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want you to be out in the dark. Keep that in mind, right? Like, it's a sports book that is the biggest advertiser on PROBOX. What the hell's the name of that sports book? I don't even know what it is. It's hang on. Let's see if I can find it. It's something AG. Sportsbetting.ag. Sports Betting AG is their biggest advertiser. So keep that in mind. That's all I'm going to say. Here we go. Is they don't want you to win bets. All right. Here, keep these odds. Vulcan. Here's what I like. Here's what I like for this weekend. I'm going to put him. I'm just going to list them. Hackett minus 1,000. Sky Nicholson. Do we have props on this? Sky Nicholson minus 2,000. I like the over. I don't know what book you guys use, but if you can get Sky Nicholson on the over or to win by decision, I really like that bet. They don't have it here. Let me pull this up again. They don't have Nicholson by decision. They just have the money line bet. So I like Sky Nicholson. How do you spell Morataya? Oh, I'm sorry. That's minus 1,400. Sorry about that. And I like boots by stoppage. All right, so here's a little parlay for y'all. Here's a little parlay. Someone do the math on this. Boots by stoppage. Um, boots by stoppage. Morataya on the money line. And Hackett. Do that. What? Someone parlay those three. We're off to something here. I'll add to it. But someone parlay those three odds. Minus whatever I put in the chat there. Minus 600, 650, 1,400, 1,000. That's a nice little bet. We'll add to it. I use DraftKings. Awesome. Well, I do too. So we're on the same page. Yeah, Farmer is wise. This is worse than Jacobs. He's going to get killed. Morataya is a young killer. This is terrible. That is a terrible bet. Yeah, Farmer. Look, I'm not trying to disrespect Tevin Farmer. I like Tevin Farmer. I think he's a great dude. He was a very good fighter many years ago, world champion. But Tevin Farmer, he was supposed to fight my boy Eddie Vasquez. I don't know what happened to that. Let me pull this up. I'm going to share this with y'all. Here's Tevin's box track. Since Joseph Diaz in 2020, he fought Avery Sparrow in 2023. He's fought Oscar Barajas and Alan Castillo. I mean, this is not exactly murder's row. Raymond Morataya is absolutely going to destroy him. Absolutely destroy him. Should be around minus 200. Okay. He's fought, DB boxing fan. He's fought, but it's been a long time. He fought in March against a 27-14 guy. He hasn't had a fight of consequence since Joseph Diaz. He fought Avery Sparrow, and he did not look great in 2023. That was off a 3.5-year layoff. Fine. Then he fought Oscar Barajas, 7-8-1 guy, stopped him in 6 rounds. Oscar Barajas was 7-8-1. And then he fought someone named Alan Isaias Lucas Castillo. Knocked him out in the first round, 27-4. 27-14. So this has not been exactly a murderer's row. It hasn't even been reasonable competition. But that's what I'm planning on doing. My 2 next videos are going to be the Hackett fight and the Tevin Farmer fight. And I'll do those Thursday and Friday. And those will be the other 2 videos I do for the week. Fair enough, y'all? I'll have videos out. But that's what I like. And then we can add to it. If we're at minus 200, I may add a 4th bet just to bring it down. Sorry about that, y'all. I lost you for a second there. I lost y'all for a second there. Let me get back up to the DraftKings book and see what else I can bet on. You can throw Janelbeck in that too. Janelbeck is minus 600, 1600. You can throw that in there too. Sorry about that. I kicked myself out real quick. I am not Vulcan. I don't really pay attention to UFC, but we should work together. We should work together and come up with some parlays where you use some UFC odds, I use some boxing odds. We mix it all together, and we come up with a dope little parlay. I think we should collaborate and work together. If you're on UFC and you've got a track record here, you're good at this. I would definitely be open to collaborating with you and working on this together. Uh, um, Absolutely. Send me a message. Guys, if you haven't joined my Patreon, join my Patreon. The link is in the description. Uh, Also, guys, I did a video. I went live yesterday telling y'all to take Sam Goodman, by decision, and to take the over. How'd I do? How'd I do? I told y'all to take Sam Goodman, the over, and Sam Goodman by decision. That hit across the board. I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but that's what we did. Um, yeah, Vulcan, we can do that. When do you want to do that? Vulcan says, I don't need any money, but I can come on every live stream. Maybe I can join sometimes for 10 to 20 minutes and give a quick breakdown. I would like, absolutely, 100%. We can do that. I'm going to go live tomorrow about this time, I think. Tomorrow's Thursday. You want to join me? I'll shoot you a link and you let me know. I'll have you on. Absolutely. Um, that's not. I would love that. We could come up with a parlay, boxing UFC parlay, for sure, 100%. All right, so I want to parlay this real quick. Hang on, I'm gonna do a 4-leg parlay. It says, all right, bro, let's do tomorrow around this time. Sounds good. I will join you live and send me a link then. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if you in my Patreon or if you follow me on social media, but send me a message and I'll send you the link. Um, so either join a Patreon or and send me a message on Instagram or Patreon or whatever, and I'll make sure to send you a link. I want to calculate the odds on that. So Janelbeck was minus 1600, minus 650. What was the fourth bet on that? Oh, and Sky. We're still up minus 225, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're bringing it down. Yeah, my Instagram is at 3D Boxing Blog. I can go live this time. I might go a little early this, but we'll be in communication. Hey, Vulcan, what time is it where you are right now? What time is it where you are? So right now that parlay is paying about minus 225. That 4-leg parlay. Not terrible. We'll bring it down a little bit more though. Appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, we might start a little earlier. Victor Valdez says 4:41 a.m. Yeah, okay, then we may start a little early if that's all right with you. It'll be like an hour earlier than this. Booch is overrated. He's going the distance this fight again. I disagree. Okay, I disagree. So you can take him on the money line. You want to take him on the money line? It's minus 1800. Take him on that money. I mean, okay. I disagree with you. You take him on the money line, you're still going to hit, right? You're just going to make less money. But Victor Valdez, I am interested in wondering why you think he's overrated. Hey guys, do me a favor. If you're in the chat, if you're watching this live, please hit the like button. It's free. It costs you nothing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please join and subscribe and hit the like button as well. How do we send the image over? What? I'm sorry. Here we go. What image do you want to send? Can you send it to me on Instagram? But so far we got a minus 225 parlay. I add a fifth leg to it. We'll get it down to under minus 200, which is what I like. So that shouldn't be too difficult for sure. Eight leg parlay. Can you send it to me on Instagram? Here we go. I want to see your 8 leg parlay. I want to see it. I'm interested. Rocket, my boy Rocket, always has the craziest parlays. So I want to see. I want to see your 8 leg parlay. I don't mind these 8. I mean, look, when I do my parlays for my I'm losing my brain here. For my viewers, for my Patreons, I try to keep it at 3 to 4 legs. I don't really like any more than that. But like, if you have an 8 leg parlay and all the bets are things I would do, you're gonna get good odds on it. So let's go for it. Let's rock and roll. Let's do it. Right? Like I can do an 8 leg parlay. I want to see it. But there's not a ton of good fights to make money on right now. I'd leave it at that. I'm gonna watch some video tonight. I'm gonna watch a lot of video tonight. I'm gonna try to get these videos over to you. Wait, I don't have it. Look, I'm in Texas. I can't do that in Texas. It won't let me. If you want to just tell us what it is, that's cool too. If you want to just put it in the chat, just type out what it is. I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm interested in it. But we got a little bit this weekend. I mean, look, we're not going to get amazing odds this weekend. Ricardo Sheehy as well. We can throw in. Ricardo Sheehy is something I'd like to add. I wish my boy Muscles was here because that's something we could look at. Charlie Sheehy, something we could look at. A lot of these times with the top ranked diet, the opponents they give these guys, they're easy money. Like they're not going to lose. They have a top ranked diet for a reason. Like they're putting them to win. So Sheehy is something you could definitely bet on. Okay, Vulcan's gonna give us some dogs tomorrow when we go live, so I'm looking forward to that. 3 dogs. I'm looking for that. 3 dogs, close money dogs. That's how I like it. In boxing, you get, like I said, a top ranked diet, and we already know who's gonna win before the fight starts, and the odds reflect that. Now you can parlay them, pick 4 or 5 of these guys fighting a top ranked diet. They're gonna win, and you parlay it, and bang, boom, there you go. Right? It's easy money. It's easy money. So I think I have my parlay for my lock of the week. I'm gonna put it in the chat. But it should be pretty. I'm gonna put it in my Patreon. It should be pretty easy. I think I got it. I'm gonna iron out some details. It'll be out tomorrow, but I think I know what I'm working on here. So I guess you guys you didn't want to talk about the PROBOX card. PROBOX card was pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Oh, whoa, DB boxing fan. Who are you in real life? I don't recognize your name from the chat, but what are the odds of Jake Asman taking a fake shot of Henny? I would say close to 100%. I would say DB boxing fan. Who are you in the Jake Asman chat? Because that's one. I'm a Jets fan. I'm a big football fan, and the Jake Asman is a Jets YouTube channel that I watch. Right, it's very interactive. But I don't recognize DB boxing fan from that chat. 100% he takes a fake shot of Henny. Yeah, at UFC, usually the way to go is singles though, because they give good odds and fighters can play out close. But making a safe parlay is nice too. I'm interested in hearing because I don't know anything about the UFC, so I'm actually interested in hearing this. Yeah, UFC they usually the way. I just read that. Don't comment, just listen. Okay. Well, I'm glad you found me, DB boxing fan. You from New York, Jersey? Where you from, DB? Or are you just a Jets fan from somewhere else? What about we do this? We find legs that combine above minus 200 and combine your boxing safe parlay with my UFC parlay and end up with a plus money. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I know what I got. I got to just do some math on it. DB is from New York. I like that idea, Vulcan. I'll come up with something that gets us to, around minus 200. And, yeah, then you give me your bets and we'll parlay it into positive money. I like the way you think, my man. DB boxing fan. Here's what I want to know about the Jets. They are favored in 14 of their 17 games. 14 of their 17 games. So that means Vegas, that means the bookmakers are telling me when push comes to shove, they think the Jets are going to go 14-3 this year. When they have to put their money where their mouth is, they think the Jets win 14 games and lose 3 this year because that's what they're favored in. Now, injuries can change. I get it. But going into the season, the odds makers are telling you they're going to win 14 games. Think about that. I want you to think about that. That's how good the Jets are. It's going to be a great season for the Jets. It's going to be a great season for the Jets. I'm glad you found the channel. All right. Book it, brother. Jets going to the Super Bowl, baby. Jets going to the Super Bowl. We're going to this. I'm of the major sports. I'm a Jets fan, a Mets fan, and I'm a Nets fan. I've been watching sports since I'm 5 years old. That's 35 years I've been watching sports. I've never once seen my team win a championship. Not the Jets, not the Mets, not the Nets. This year that changes with the Jets. Jets, baby. Jets. I'm going to wrap this up. I think I've given some good gambling advice. I was talking a little bit about the PROBOX card a little early on. We got through that. The PROBOX card, he didn't have a ton of good fights. Although Najee Lopez was in a little bit of a tussle. In the main event, Akatsui was in a decent fight. I like the Katsui, but he gets hit too much at the highest level. I think he's going to have issues at this level as he progresses. I think he's pretty good, but he's going to run into problems if he hits that much. The best fighters in the world don't get hit a lot. Just putting that out there. The best fighters in the world don't get hit a lot, and he's going to have to change that. But offensively, he was very good. Straight punches down the pipe, timed his shots well, mixed up his combinations really, really, really well. But his defense and his movement and his footwork has got to get better. He's got to learn how to slide out of the way of some of those shots. Yeah, I agree. Here we go. Boxing is probably easiest to bet on due to politics. Odds just aren't the greatest at times. I've heard, and I don't know anything about this, but Vegas Leon, who has a channel too, He says the WNBA is a lot like boxing. It's easy to bet on because the odds makers, the bookies, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to handicap the sport. I agree. Boxing of the sports that I watch, at least, is the easiest to bet on due to politics. Odds just aren't that great at times. Yeah, you could look at these fight and you can pick the winner, pick the winner, pick the winner. And this is why I hit on my lock of the week. And you just parlay them together. You get all these layups. And if you hit these 3 layups, you make good money. It's like, well, I can hit layups all day. There you go. Yeah. But sometimes it's rigged in the wrong way, like Oshaki Foster, you know. And I tell you to bet on Oshaki Foster, and Oshaki Foster wins 10 rounds at least, and then he gets robbed of a horrible, bogus, no good decision, right? So you got to factor in the rig which way you're going to bet. I don't know. I'm a boxing guy. You know, I boxed my whole life. Boxing is my first love. Uh, I never really got into UFC, but I am into gambling. I'm into making money, and I am into collaborating and with work with people and building bridges. So yeah, I'd love to have you on. I'd love to learn about it, and we can absolutely do this. I know that this, especially over in England and Europe, there's a big crossover between boxing fans and UFC MMA fans. In the States, it's a little more divided. Like there's boxing fans and there's UFC fans, and they're kind of like one side or the other. But I don't have. I like UFC. Absolutely, I'll have you on. You can show us how to bring down the house and make money. I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming on. I appreciate your time. If you have any last minute thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, super chats, put them in the chat now. Otherwise, forever hold your peace. Vulcan says at the buzzer, UFC is great too. You would like it over the time as you watch. Bet small on, I'd say, and maybe sometimes you'd watch. Well, here we go. I'm going to let you show me, and I will bet small on it, and I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn from watching you. Because, again, I'm not a UFC. I'm not a UFC guy. I don't have anything against it. I don't hate it. I don't think, I'm just, I've never gotten into it. Great show. Thank you. Here we go. Appreciate it. DB boxing fan. I'm not sure what that says, but I appreciate it. It is July 10th, 2024, from Texas to the world. Thank you and God bless. Have a good night, Vulcan. I'll talk to you tomorrow.